Welcome to this easy A2 English story about Meteora. If you enjoy simple English learning, amazing history, and relaxing stories, please like the video and subscribe for more helpful lessons every week of your journey. Meteora. Part 1. Introduction to Meteora. Meteora is a very special place in Greece. Many people visit Meteora every year because it is a beautiful and unique area. Meteora is famous for its tall and strange rocks. These rocks stand high in the sky and look very strong. When people see these rocks for the first time, they often feel surprised. The rocks look like they are touching the clouds. The name Meteora means in the air, or floating in the sky, and this is a good name because the rocks look like they are hanging above the land. The rocks of Meteora are very old. Scientists say that the rocks were formed millions of years ago. Long ago, this area was underwater. Later, the water went away, and the rocks appeared. Over a very long time, wind, rain and sun changed the shape of the rocks. Today the rocks are tall, thin, and very interesting to look at. Some rocks look like towers. Some look like walls. Some are wide, and some are narrow. Each rock has a different shape, and this makes the place feel special. One of the most famous things about Meteora is the monasteries on top of the rocks. Many years ago, monks wanted to live quiet and peaceful lives. They wanted to be close to God and far away from danger and noise. For this reason, they chose the high rocks of Meteora. The rocks were difficult to climb, so they felt safe and alone. The monks built monasteries at the top of these rocks. It was not easy to bring stones and wood up the high rocks, but the monks worked very hard. They built strong buildings that are still standing today. A long time ago, Meteora had 24 monasteries. Today, only 6 monasteries are still active. These monasteries are important religious places. Visitors can go inside some of them and see old rooms, old paintings, and beautiful views. When visitors stand on the top of a rock, they can see the green valley, the small villages, and the mountains in the distance. The view is very peaceful, and many people say they feel calm and happy when they look around. Meteora is also a great place for walking and enjoying nature. There are many paths around the rocks. People like to walk and take photos because the rocks look different from every angle. The air is clean, and the area is quiet. Many visitors say that Meteora is a good place to relax and enjoy the simple beauty of nature. Sometimes people visit Meteora for one day, but many people stay for 2 or 3 days because there is so much to see. Tourism is very important for Meteora. People come from many countries to see this special place. They come to learn about history, religion, and culture. Meteora shows the strong connection between humans and nature. The monasteries show how people can live in a difficult place and still build beautiful and meaningful things. Meteora is not only a natural wonder but also a cultural treasure. Because Meteora is so important, it is protected by UNESCO. UNESCO is an international organization that protects important cultural and natural sites. Meteora is on the UNESCO World Heritage List. This means that Meteora must be protected and cared for. People should not damage the rocks or the monasteries. They should respect the place and keep it clean. In this way, Meteora can stay beautiful for many years. Today, Meteora is a place where the past and present meet. People can learn about the history of the monks, the age of the rocks, and the culture of Greece. At the same time, they can enjoy modern comforts such as hotels, restaurants, and transportation. Meteora is a place that welcomes everyone: families, students, travelers, photographers, and people who love nature. In conclusion, Meteora is a wonderful place with tall rocks, old monasteries, and amazing views. The natural beauty, the peaceful atmosphere, and the special history make Meteora a place worth visiting. Many people say that Meteora is one of the most beautiful places they have ever seen. In this first section, you learned basic information about Meteora. In the next sections, you can learn more about its history, its monasteries, and what visitors can do there. Part 2. The history and formation of Meteora. The history of Meteora is very rich and interesting. To understand Meteora today, it is important to learn about how it was formed and how people began to live on the tall rocks. Meteora is not only a beautiful place, it is also a place with a long story that started millions of years ago. This story includes nature, religion, and human life working together over a long time. Millions of years ago, the area where Meteora is today was very different. Scientists say that this land was once covered by water. There was a large river and even a lake in this region. Over time, the river brought stones, sand, and other materials to the area. These materials slowly collected and became thick layers at the bottom of the water. After many, many years, these layers changed into hard rock. This rock later became the tall stones of Meteora. After some time, the water slowly disappeared from the area. When the water was gone, the rocks began to appear. These rocks were not tall or thin in the beginning. They were large blocks of stone. Then nature started to change them. Strong winds, heavy rain, cold weather, and heat slowly shaped the rocks. This process took a very long time. Nature is slow, but it is very powerful. Because of this long process, the rocks became tall, straight, and smooth. Today, when people look at the rocks of Meteora, they see the result of millions of years of natural change. The human history of Meteora started much later. The first people who lived near Meteora were simple farmers. They grew food and took care of animals in the valley. They did not live on the rocks because the rocks were too high and difficult to climb. But the people always saw the rocks around them. They believed the rocks were special because they looked different from other places. Many people thought Meteora had a peaceful and spiritual feeling even before the monasteries were built. Around the 9th century, the first monks came to the Meteora area. These monks were looking for a quiet place to live. They wanted to pray, think, and live simple lives away from the problems of the world. At first, the monks did not live on top of the rocks. They lived inside small caves near the bottom. These caves were safe, quiet, and warm. The monks stayed alone for many years. They prayed, studied, and helped each other. Later, in the 14th century, the monks decided to build monasteries on the top of the rocks. They wanted more safety because the area sometimes had danger from wars and thieves. The tall rocks were the perfect place to stay safe. But building on the tall rocks was very difficult. The monks had no machines. They used ropes, ladders made of wood, and strong hands. They worked together and little by little they built the first monasteries. It took many years, but they did not stop. Their strong faith helped them continue. By the 15th century, Meteora had many monasteries. At one time, there were 24 monasteries standing on the rocks. Each monastery had rooms, kitchens, small gardens, and places for prayer. The monks lived simple but peaceful lives. They created beautiful art, wrote books by hand, and helped travelers who came to visit. These monasteries became important places for religion and culture in Greece. As time passed, many monasteries became empty. Some were damaged by weather, time, and war. Today, only 6 monasteries are still active. But even the old and empty monasteries are important because they show how people lived long ago. They are part of the history of Meteora and help tell its story. The history of Meteora teaches us many things. It shows how nature can create something beautiful over millions of years. It also shows how people can live in a difficult place and still build strong and meaningful things. Meteora is a perfect example of humans working with nature instead of fighting against it. The tall rocks protected the monks, and the monks respected the land. Today, many people visit Meteora to learn this history. When visitors walk or drive around the rocks, they can imagine the long process that shaped Meteora. When they visit the monasteries, they can imagine the monks climbing the rocks and building their homes. Meteora is like an open book that tells a long and beautiful story. Part 3. The Monasteries of Meteora. The monasteries of Meteora are the most famous part of this special place. When people think of Meteora, they often think of the tall rocks with beautiful monasteries on top. These monasteries are very old, very strong, and very important for history and religion. In this section, you will learn more about the monasteries, how they were built, how the monks lived, and what visitors can see today. Many years ago, monks wanted to live in a quiet place, far away from danger and noise. They wanted to pray, think, and live simple lives. The tall rocks of Meteora were the perfect place for this kind of life. The monks looked at the rocks and believed that these high places brought them closer to God. They decided to build their homes on the top of the rocks. But building on the rocks was not easy. It was very difficult, and it took a long time. The monks had no modern tools or machines. They had to use their hands, simple ropes, wooden ladders, and baskets. At first, they climbed the rocks with great effort. They carried food, wood, and stones on their backs or in rope baskets. Sometimes they had to climb for many hours. The monks worked together. They helped each other every day. Slowly, they built small rooms, then bigger rooms, and finally, strong stone buildings. These buildings became the monasteries we see today. A long time ago, there were 24 monasteries in Meteora. Each monastery had its own name, its own rules, and its own group of monks. Some monasteries were very large, and some were small. Some had big churches, while others had simple rooms. But all of them shared the same purpose: to give the monks a peaceful life of prayer, work, and study. Today, only 6 monasteries are still active. These are: 1. Great Meteoron Monastery. 2. Varlam Monastery. 3. Rusanu Monastery. 4. Holy Trinity Monastery. 5. Saint Nicholas Anapophis Monastery. 6. Saint Stephen Monastery. Each of these monasteries is special, and each has something unique to offer. The Great Meteoron Monastery is the largest and oldest one. It has many rooms, a large church, a museum, and beautiful old paintings. The monks who lived here were very active and created many important works of art. Varlam Monastery is also very famous. It has a long history and beautiful views. Visitors need to climb many steps to reach it, but the view from the top is worth the effort. Rusanu Monastery is different because it is run by nuns today, not monks. It is smaller, but many visitors like it because it has a warm and friendly feeling. Holy Trinity Monastery is one of the hardest to reach because the stairs are long and steep. But the view from this monastery is very beautiful. It is also famous because one scene from a James Bond movie was filmed here. Saint Nicholas Anapofsa's monastery is small, but it has wonderful wall paintings. Saint Stephen Monastery is the easiest to visit because it has a bridge instead of many stairs. Inside the monasteries, visitors can see many interesting things. They can see old paintings on the walls, old books, and simple furniture. These things show how monks lived many years ago. They can also learn about the rules the monks followed. The monks woke up early, prayed many times a day, and did not have many personal items. Their lives were simple and peaceful. The monasteries also had special rooms for cooking, sleeping, and studying. They had gardens where they grew food. They made their own bread and soup. Some monks painted religious pictures, and some copied old books by hand. They believed their work was important and helped keep their religion strong. Visitors today must follow certain rules to respect the monasteries. They must dress modestly. Men should wear long pants, and women should wear long skirts. Visitors should speak quietly, take care of the buildings, and not touch the old paintings. These rules help protect the monasteries so that future generations can enjoy them too. Even though many years have passed, the monasteries of Meteora still stand strong. They show the world how people with faith and patience can create something beautiful in a difficult place. The monasteries are not just buildings, they are symbols of history, culture, and human dedication. Part 4. Visiting Meteora today. Visiting Meteora today is a wonderful experience for many people. Travelers from all around the world come to see the tall rocks, the old monasteries, and the peaceful nature. Meteora is not only a place for history lovers. It is also a great place for families, students, hikers, and anyone who wants to enjoy a calm and beautiful environment. In this section, you will learn what visitors can do in Meteora, how they can prepare for their trip, and what makes the visit special. When people arrive in Meteora, the first thing they notice is the landscape. The tall rocks rise from the ground like giant towers. They look special in every season. In spring, the valley is green and full of flowers. In summer, the sky is bright and blue. In autumn, the trees turn red and yellow. In winter, snow sometimes covers the rocks and makes the area look magical. No matter when you visit, Meteora always looks beautiful. Many visitors enjoy walking around Meteora. There are many safe and easy walking paths. Some paths go around the rocks, and some go up toward the monasteries. Walking in Meteora is not only healthy, but also relaxing. The air is clean, and the sound of nature is soft. People can hear birds singing, leaves moving in the wind, and sometimes the sound of bells from the monasteries. These simple sounds help visitors feel peaceful and calm. Another popular activity in Meteora is hiking. Hiking is different from walking because it is usually longer and sometimes more difficult. Many hikers enjoy the challenge of climbing higher paths. When they reach the top, they can see amazing views of the valley, the rocks, and the villages. Meteora is famous among hikers because the paths are beautiful and the views are unforgettable. Of course, one of the most important parts of a visit to Meteora is seeing the monasteries. Visitors can enter several of the active monasteries. Before entering, visitors must follow simple rules. They must wear modest clothing. Men should wear long pants, and women should wear long skirts. If a visitor does not have proper clothing, some monasteries provide skirts to borrow. Visitors must also speak quietly inside because the monasteries are places of prayer. Inside the monasteries, visitors can see many interesting things. They can see old icons, which are religious paintings. They can see small museums with historical objects. They can also walk in the courtyards and enjoy the views from the top of the rocks. The monasteries are peaceful, and many people like to sit for a moment to think or pray. Even people who are not religious say that the monasteries feel calm and special. Many visitors also like to take photos in Meteora. The rocks and monasteries look different from every angle, so it is easy to take beautiful pictures. Sunrise and sunset are popular times for photography. When the sun rises or sets, the rocks turn orange and gold. Photographers often say that Meteora has some of the best views in the world. To visit Meteora comfortably, visitors should prepare a little. They should wear comfortable shoes because there is a lot of walking and climbing. They should bring water, especially in summer, because the weather can be hot. A hat and sunscreen are also helpful on sunny days. In winter, visitors should wear warm clothes because the wind can be strong on the rocks. There are many hotels and guest houses in the villages near Meteora, especially in Kalimbaka and Kastraki. These villages are friendly and peaceful. Visitors can eat traditional Greek food, such as fresh bread, cheese, olives, and grilled meat. Many restaurants have outdoor seating, so people can enjoy the view while they eat. The local people are kind and like to talk to visitors. They often share stories about the history of Meteora. Some visitors join guided tours. A guide can explain the history of the rocks, the meaning of the paintings, and the life of the monks. Guided tours are helpful for people who want to learn more. Other visitors prefer to explore alone, which is also easy because the paths and roads are well marked. Visiting Meteora today is a chance to connect with nature and history. It is a place where people can slow down, breathe deeply, and enjoy the simple beauty of the world. Many visitors say they feel different after visiting Meteora. They feel calmer, happier, and more grateful. Meteora is not just a place to see, it is a place to feel. In conclusion, Meteora is a wonderful destination for all kinds of travelers. The tall rocks, old monasteries, quiet nature, and friendly villages make the visit unforgettable. People who come to Meteora take home not only photos but also memories of peace and beauty.